Okay, so Instagram has done it again, where they have changed how you can go. Found it. Oh my gosh, I feel like every week I have to hunt around on Instagram to find the stuff, to find, oh my goodness, so that I can get with you all on Instagram as well as Facebook. Oh my goodness, they make it so complicated. Like every week it seems like it moves. Well, it's probably not Instagram, it's probably me, but oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be back with you. Oh, I feel like, I know it's been a little while. So I was in New Jersey. I was so grateful to go to Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, which is where the incredible Janet Nohavic's Journey Within Church, Spiritualist Church, is located. And my mentor, one of my mentors, Joe Shield, who's an incredible spirit artist, is the new Reverend spiritual leader there since Janet had passed a few months ago. And so my cohort of incredible, amazing mediums that I'm so incredibly blessed to work with, we meet several times in the year. And it is kind of nice that we've been going to Buffalo. So it's been nice. It was nice to go to Pompton Lakes, which is very near to, and it's near Warwick, New York. It's near Woodstock, New York. And Warwick, New York is a place that is so very near and dear to my heart. So it was just such a wonderful experience to be able to go and reconnect with my cohorts, when we work with people who are in so many different levels of their mediumship development or any skill. It makes us better. We always are made better because we are either being mentored or mentoring, and it's so important to give back, and it's so important to keep fresh and to keep working with people who challenge you to be better. And it was just such an honor to be there and to be part of a live demonstration of mediumship, and then another demonstration. Ooh, is that better? Ooh, that's like really, really bright. And another demonstration this past weekend at the church here in Orlando that I'm affiliated with. And it was just been so much stuff that so many of us, when we came back, we were just, I think that might be too bright, we were just exhausted. And there's been so much that's been going on. And so I didn't get with you all on Thursday, and I'm so excited that I will be able to be with you today now. Yay! And then hopefully this Thursday is a little unsure. There's a lot of things going on in schedule with the ends of the year kind of things with May and June. There's a lot of things pulling on our times this time of year, especially if you have kids. And so for me, it's 19 days to college graduation for my youngest. So there's lots that's going on, so I'm unclear as to what my availability is going to be for this coming Thursday. But I'm so glad to be back with you, and I'm so glad to be here for the next. I know this Monday and next Monday. So there's all of that, which is exciting. Also, there's a lot that is going on in the universe right now. You may have noticed while I was away, we had a new moon, and then we had Mercury retrograde. So I'm sorry wasn't here to give you a heads up about it, but woo! So there is a new moon. There was the new moon. We're coming. The full moon is actually this week. So the full moon is going to be on the Cinco de Mayo. It's going to be on the 5th. And this is a big new moon, a big full moon. It's a big full moon because there's going to be another lunar eclipse as we're in this eclipse season. And then also today, Pluto moves into retrograde. So we've got Mercury in retrograde. We've got Pluto moving into retrograde. Now, Mercury retrograde, this is a little bit of a shorter one, which is nice. So Mercury is going to end its retrograde on the 15th of this month. So just hang in there. But with having the full moon and Pluto in retrograde and Mercury in retrograde, it's going to feel bumpy. It's going to feel tumultuous. But what is so fun about Pluto as Pluto is moving, Pluto is, this is this time of chapters ending and things completing, but Pluto is going to bring up some relationship stuff. Pluto is going to bring up some things that, those things that you've been ignoring and like pretending not to see. I have one or two of those, and it's so funny because I got another text message this morning from another dear friend who's a talented medium, and it's like the third unsolicited. Now I know we talk about no unsolicited messages. However, with mediums that we work together and we have the kind of a co-worker, we have sort of an agreement. And so 3 different mediums that I work with have come to me and said, I have this message for you, and it's all been the same message, and I'm just like, I got it, because it's one of those things that it's not that I'm unwilling to see it, I'm just not ready to act on it. And so the universe, my loved ones, my grandparents are really been pushing about it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm in that place where I'm like fixing to get ready to get started, to get going, right? You ever felt like that, where you're like, yeah, I'm going to do all these other little things and I'm going to be ready, right? But we can do all those little things for forever. So this is what happens in the universe right now with Pluto is Pluto is going to be that like, hello, it's time. You need to push that other fixing to get ready little bits and nibs and things that we're using as excuses. And we need to push those things aside, because this is the time that really is the time to take action. But at the same time, and this is going to come in more really with Jupiter, which is going to move into Taurus. In later this month. So you're going to really start to feel these pushes. So right now what we have is we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde brings up all kinds of things we need to address. And with Mercury retrograde, we really try to, look, you can go through retrograde like this, or you can go through retrograde like this. Like, okay, so if you follow me at all, you know I'm an avid kayaker. My husband and I, we go paddling, we go see the manatees, all the things. So we're out kayaking this weekend, and a boat comes by and makes a wake, throws off the water. And so if you stay in aligned with that, it's going to tip you over, right? But if you turn into it, like what they say, turn into the skid, right? If you turn into it, then when the water comes, you're doing a little bit like this, and so you're going over it this way instead of this way, because the kayak is long and narrow. So if you're going this way, you're going to have a higher likelihood of tipping over. So to go into it, you point into it and you say, okay, I'm facing this head on, and I'm allowing this to carry me on the wave. I'm aware of it, I see it, I feel it. I'm going to just allow it to evolve and to carry me along. And I know it's going to take me where I need to be, or it's going to take me safely forward. I'm not getting into a place where I'm like, blah, because you can't be in a kayak out in the water and try to not move. Like, I'm going to paddle, and then this wave is not going to make me move at all. I'm going to compensate. And so we grab on and we get into so much resistance, which is not what we need in retrograde. So while we are still in this time of retrograde for another 2 weeks, it's just 2 more weeks, just allowing those things that are coming up for you, allow those things to come up, because in this same time that we're going to have this retrograde is still going on. Mercury retrograde is about bringing up things that that we need to pay attention to, that we need to deal with. And just as just a hilariousness, yesterday I said to my husband, I said, I'm going to work on this thing. It's time. I need to work on this. I'm getting all these messages. I'm going to work on this thing, but I'm going to do this other thing first and just get it off the deck. And then immediately we got notification that the power was out at my house. So he's like, are you really going to work on that? So we want to roll with it, because by the time we got home, the power was restored, even though they said it was going to take the entire day. So you want to roll with what Mercury retrograde is trying to get you to see, and to acknowledge and to lean into that, because here comes Pluto. And Pluto is going to help to really connect you with relationships, places where there's maybe been misunderstandings or hiccups. Now, that could be relationships with other people, maybe friends or family, but it also has to do with relationships with self, right? What is it that we are, again, pretending not to see? What are we ignoring? What are we pretending that we're like, what? I didn't hear that. Oh, that was a coincidence that the power went out at my house. Right? What are we putting blinders on and pretending not to get that message, that sign, that signal from the universe? And Pluto comes in and is like, hey, look, I don't come around that often, but I'm here now, and I'm going to start making some waves because you guys got to get some stuff going. So Pluto is this reminder for us to get in the game, right? Pluto is this reminder that says it is time to get stuff done, right? Because Pluto, if you are alive right now, you have never had Pluto come into your astrological sign because Pluto is so far away from us. He has been out there in the further nether regions of the universe because, the patterns that the planets make, it's not circular, they're elliptical. And so it's been 230 plus years since Pluto has been in our astrological chart. So this is really exciting, but again, it's going to make some waves. So then we have the full moon on Friday, which is a lunar eclipse. And so we know that when we have a full moon, we have this time of releasing, of looking at things that don't serve us. And we have this time where we're kind of, it's like periscope up, and we took a look around and we say, okay, what's going on this month, and what do I need to readjust? So we get in the new moon, we're setting our intentions for the month. What do I want to do this month? What do I want to, accomplish? And I love that because even though today was not the new moon, it is the first of the month. And so I got a text message from a person I follow and said, okay, what are 3 things that you were proud of that you accomplished last month, and what are 3 things that you want to accomplish in this next month? And one of the things about the accountability is that you can send back you can send back, okay, look, if you're a spammer, just go because I'm going to block you. It's that simple. So one of the things that we do for accountability is we send back to her, like, these are the 3 things I did that I was proud of last month, and these are there you go, Ahmad, you're banned, see ya, bye, banned, goodbye, I tried to tell you, but you're banned. So, like, we can see you all coming. People have the same pattern, and it's the same stuff, and we know you're spammers, go away, we don't want you here. Spammers be banned. So we know, like, that you have this accountability with her, which is such a nice thing. If you have somebody in your life, could be anybody. This is what 3 things were you proud of that you accomplished in the month that just finished, and what 3 things are you going to accomplish in this next month? But we can do this on the new moon. We should be doing this on the new moon much more than on the calendar month. So on the new moon, we set our intention. What are the things that I did accomplish in the last moon cycle? What do I want to accomplish in this new moon cycle? We set the intention at the time of the new moon. We set that intention as the moon energy. When we come down to the new moon, that energy comes down. That's why we can feel tired as we come into the new moon. And then we move up as the energy gets higher and rises as we move up. And to think about it like going around a Ferris wheel or like a circle, right? Of the, those eye things they have in, like we have one here in Orlando, the eye, so that we are going up to get to the full moon. And as you're coming up, the energy gets higher, the excitement and the vibe gets, vibration is stronger, which is why you get people who are like, why are people freaking out and jumping around and like everything's crazy on the full moon? It's because the energy went up. Right? And so when we get to the top of the Ferris wheel, we have the opportunity to take a look around and say, okay, what is going on right now? Like, if this was my intention that I set on the new moon down here, then, okay, these are the 3 things I want to accomplish. As I'm getting up here to the top of to the circle, it's like, well, how's it going? This is what we're asking ourselves when we get to the top of the Ferris wheel and we get towards the full moon. How is it going? What was my plan for the new moon, and how is it going? So that we have the time of the... Oh, sorry, Instagram. Sorry, y'all fell off my computer. Sorry, Sunny. Sorry, Sunny Bunny. Okay. So that we have this time from the full moon back down to the new moon, where we're in the waning, that we are able to shift and adjust and reassess and move in a new direction if needed and make any adjustments that we need to. But so here's the thing. This is going to be a lunar eclipse, which means everything is going to be turned up to 11, right? It's like your stereo system, it goes up to 10, or old school stereo systems will go up to 10, right? You could literally see the numbers. And then, if people were like, oh, it's really loud, we turn it up to 11, right? This is what happens when we have the eclipses. So with the lunar eclipse, we're going to have this shadow, and it really amps up the volume. So if it's a little bumpy right now, it's going to probably get more bumpy as we come into the eclipse on this full moon on Friday, on the 5th. Is it Friday? It's the 5th. so on May 5th. So Cinco de Mayo going to be a little bit, there's going to be a lot going on. So if you do have plans for Cinco de Mayo, if you are going to go to a party or something, just be safe, because wackadoo things can happen because everything is intensified. It's like mixing if you're taking a medication and then you drink, how it can just be like, woo! So just keep that in mind if you're going to have some celebration for Cinco de Mayo. Just be safe and just maybe dial it back just a little, just to be, or make sure there's a designated driver or something, because not only are we going to have Cinco de Mayo and the festivities, but we're going to have this full moon, we're going to have this eclipse, we're already having Mercury retrograde, and now we have Pluto in retrograde, and then as we get into a little bit later into the month, and we'll talk about this again, we have Jupiter that's going to be moving around, and Jupiter is a big, bulky planet. Jupiter moves a lot of energy, and so the thing that Jupiter is talking about is closing chapters, ending chapters. So this is part of why Pluto and Mercury are trying to be like, come on, clean it up right now, let's go, what do we got to do? Because Jupiter's going to come along and go, okay, doors are closing. It's like the pushers on the subways in Japan, if you've ever seen those videos, like when you get on the subway in New York, it can be crowded, but you squish in and then the doors close. In Japan, there's people who are literally pushing to get all the people in so that the doors can close, so that as many people as possible can get on the trains, because they have so many people that need to get in there. So okay, so this is Jupiter, right? So Jupiter's going to be like, okay, these doors are closing, you better get in there. So this is why all things are working together for us always, but Mercury retrograde, Pluto in retrograde, the full moon, the eclipse, all of these things are trying to tell us that this is the time we got to wrap some stuff up. And then if you are, and all things come together in the right time, right? Because this is also the end of the school year. And we're also going to come at the end of June to the end of the fiscal year for a lot of people. So there's a lot that is kind of coming to this place of conclusion in the next month or so. And so this is really the stars are aligning to say, look, you got to wrap some stuff up. Like, we got to get across those finish lines. This is not the time to take the eye off the ball. This is the time to make sure that you are moving forward in the way that makes the most sense for you, and that you're getting that stuff done. And it's important for us to prioritize, right? Because like for me, I have this thing that's been sitting on my to-do list for all this time, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. This is what I've got to do. I know I just got to get it done and clear the deck. But what I'm getting from Spirit is like, yeah, we understand that's important to you, but this is what's important to us, and we want you to shift those priorities a little bit. So just be mindful if you're being pulled in that kind of a direction, because literally when 3 of your medium friends call you up and say, I have this message for you, you definitely want to pay attention to those things. So, and again, not talking about unsolicited messages. These are coworkers. These are people that, we have agreements that we do bring information for each other, to bless each other, and to keep each other on track. So a little bit different than like walking up to somebody in the grocery store going, girl, right? Because we definitely don't want to work with psychics or mediums who are going to work like that. Okay. Also, if you can't tell, my allergies from being in New Jersey have just gone bananas. I mean, I got up there and it was so beautiful. It was absolutely so beautiful. There were trees there in New Jersey because it was really cold and rainy, but there were trees there that could not decide if they were in spring or fall. And the weather was having the same confusion. So it was so beautiful and so stunning, and it was such a joy to be there. But at the same time, I was looking at these trees that were blossoming, and there was pollen everywhere, the same kind of yellow pollen we get here in Central Florida from the oak trees. It was all over our white rental car. But at the same time, we had all these beautiful trees, bright pink, so many different shades of pink, of these gorgeous blossoms, trees just covered in blossoms. Some of the biggest trees I've ever seen in my life covered. They were just pink everywhere. So I was in heaven. And then other trees that looked like they were in fall, and they still hadn't come in from winter, and they were losing their leaves, and they were turning red, and they were like, it was like a whole seasonal confusion thing, which kind of made me feel a little bit better, because I feel like I live in seasonal confusion here in Florida all the time. So I have brought home allergies, which is just hilarious. So I don't really have them too much, and then had to go up to New Jersey to find them. So we're going to do, I'm going to pull an animal spirit card out. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Because look, it's the Canadian goose. It says goose, but it's a picture of a Canadian goose. So we obviously don't get a lot of those here in Florida, but when I was up in New Jersey, oh look, Tegan, you're a spammer. We're banning you. Banned from page. Goodbye. If you're a spammer, please just leave now because I'm going to ban you. I mean, it's just that simple. So this is so funny because when we were up in New York and New Jersey, we saw Canadian geese everywhere. They were just everywhere, and you can hear them going honk, honk, honk. And they're so sweet. And then in some of the places that we had been when I was over in Warwick, New York, they were all like, take my picture. Take my picture. And so we saw them, and it was so much fun because, I mean, it's spring. You wouldn't think they would be there really at the end of April, but they were just hanging out having a blast. So how fun that is the animal spirit card that we pull is the Canadian geese. So this is take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. So remember that Mercury retrograde is all about going with that flow, right? Allowing these things to come in and to be developed. And that Pluto is also talking to you about healing relationships and allowing for those things to come up. All of this in preparation for the full moon and getting ready, right? And also because we want to stop as we're getting ready for the full moon. We want to stop and want to take stock. This is that time, right, where we're going to peek up and look around. So this is a time to maybe take a breath and relax and go, okay, how's it going? How am I doing? This is a time of assessment as we're getting ready for that full moon. And then to be able to, well, I will say there was quite a lot of Canadian geese evidence on the ground. We didn't see any nests, but there was quite a lot of evidence that many of them had been there for quite a long time. So we were watching. I tell people to watch. I have 3 dogs. I tell people to watch where they walk in my yard, but that was ridiculous. So thank you, Tracy. Tracy says the Canadian geese are nice unless you get near their nests. We didn't actually see any babies. No, we didn't actually see any babies. It was just a bunch of, they all to be around the same size. It was fun to watch them kind of skid in on the water when they were flying. They kind of, so this is the time to take a breath, to take a gander, take a gander and see what's going on and really feel into where do we want to be, where are we, where do we want to be, what assessment do we need to make before we reach that full moon to be able to shift gears. Okay, so the goose is reminding us to take a breath, to relax, to also relax into Mercury retrograde, like we're not going to let it throw us off or tip over our kayak, and to take some time, some breaths to really feel into and assess what's going on with you as we move towards this full moon, because it's going to be a powerful one. And if you are ready, and if you didn't set your intention at the 2 weeks ago, please don't worry. It's okay. But asking yourself as you're coming into this full moon, what do I need to know right now? One of my most favorite questions to ask in the universe all the time is, what do I need to know right now for my highest and best good to help move me forward on my path? What do I need to know right now for my highest and best good to help me move forward on my path? What do I need to know right now for my highest and best good to help me move forward on my path? It is one of the best questions you can ask. So if you had not remembered to set your intention for the new moon, that's okay. This is a new month. You can certainly do it now. But at the same time, a lot of people forget. Sometimes I forget. It's no big deal. Ooh, jumpy cards. But one of the best questions that we can ask to get ourselves back on that track, if you're trying to be in alignment with the moon phases and to help, to live in alignment with the power of the moon to help lift you and bless you, because it is like that wake coming off the boat where if you steer into it, then it will just carry you along, and it carries you along gently when you're working with the moon. But if you missed it and you didn't do it, don't worry about it. Just ask the question, what can I do now for my highest and best to help move me forward on my path? It's an easy question. It's one of those questions I ask every single day. So the card that jumped out is, of course, so I decided today, I have all the card decks on my desk, and I just kind of put my hand over them and say, okay, who are we talking to today? And so this is, sometimes I decide in advance, and today I didn't. So this is the Work Your Light Oracle card deck from Rebecca Campbell. I love this deck. I really do. And so the card that comes up is Lemuria. It says, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And I love this because it really is the truth, right? We are seeing so much transition and so much shifting that's going on because the universe is trying to move all of us to a higher evolution and move us to a higher plane of existence. Not necessarily like shift to like another plane of like, we're alive and then, we're not and we've ascended or something like that. But it is really trying to reprogram people that we're seeing so much of this I got to grab onto something but I also don't want to spill this. So I'm going to grab onto this beautiful crystal heart my beautiful friend Laura Gibson gave to me. But we see right now that's going on is so much, especially in the more conservative side, people are holding on to this for dear life. They're holding on because we've got to get back to those core values. We've got to get back to the stuff that we know to be true. And that is a very old ideology. And I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to go left or right or anything like that. What I'm talking about is being change resistant. Because these are the things that are the old ideologies that we have to hold on for dear life to what we know to be true, the way it was, the place and time where we felt secure. And this is where you see people are trying to go back. They want to change the laws to go back. They want to, whatever it is, okay? But what we're seeing happening from the celestial and the metaphysical side is we are seeing that we are being pushed forward. We are being pushed forward whether we like it or not, because we are evolving. Humans are evolving. We are becoming more aware, more conscious of something bigger. We are being more connected to the higher. We are tapping in. So many more people every single day are tapping into the higher that is there. Less that we are concerned about somebody that had to die so that I could live, or die so that I could be pure or saved, or any of these kind of things. But we're realizing that we are all safe and we are all saved because we all come from love, and that's the only thing that's there is love. And if we're all born from love, then we don't need to be saved in order to go back to love, because that's the only thing that's there on the other side is love. And we have more and more people that are walking away from these old ideas, these old restrictive ideas. The fact that in my state there was something that happened the other day where they've changed the laws where literally one single parent, they talk a lot here about parents' rights, about giving power back to the parents, except that they've also created the environment where one single parent could cause a teacher to be fired or a book to be banned or any of those things. So they're giving the power to the parents, but they're giving it to certain parents. They're giving it to the parents who are wanting to hold on to those old ideologies. Meanwhile, the rest of society, so many more people are, and again, I'm not trying to be political, but so many people are waking up and saying, no, there's more. There's something bigger than me. There's something bigger than you, that these things do not harm us. We do not need to be afraid of bathrooms, or we do not need to be afraid of people who are different from us. We are all from love. And we all came here to learn and experience, and we're all going to go back to love. We don't need something else. We don't need all this stuff to try and control us and conform us and make us, fit in a box that is no longer applicable to the vibration of humanity today. And so this is where you see folks that are really holding on to dear life to things where they felt safe and familiar. And then you have other people who are like, I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. I've got my beautiful, is this not gorgeous? This gorgeous crystal heart that my girlfriend Laura gave to me, just out of the blue. This beautiful gift came in the mail. It's so fantastic. But now we have people who are saying, I believe in something bigger. I believe in something more. And I want to connect with others. I want to connect with the higher. I want to connect with something that is of love, and not of fear, and not of anger, and not of hate. I want to connect with something of love. And so we have, this is the vibration that's happening. And the more we have the people who are rising up and saying, I want to be part of the love movement, then we have the minority that is getting smaller, that has been the people who are saying, no, we have to hold on to what we know to be true, right? We have to hold on to what is familiar. Whereas we're over here going, love is true. The power of the universe is love. Love is the engine of the universe. We know that to be true. I can feel that in my bones and my core and every fiber of my being. I know that that's true. And so there is a real shift. So our job is to stay into, right? We point the kayak into the waves and we face it head on and we let it carry us in the way it needs to go, because we're going to ride on those waves, okay? And so I love that this is the first card that we pulled today is Lemuria, because it's the reminder that we are being, thank you, sweetheart, that we are being guided to create, because Lemuria was utopia. Lemuria and the Lemurians, if you've heard of people who came from other places, because souls are not just of Earth. Souls come from lots of places. Lemuria, Pleiades, all kinds of places, right? So they come from other planets. It's not just the people who lived here on Earth that died and their souls went back to to the universe to love, and then they were reborn in another person's body, if you believe in reincarnation, which I do, and then that's the number of souls, and we just keep going around and around again. No. Souls come from lots of different places. And so the Lemurians came here and created utopia. And so we are being invited and reminded that they are here to help us to create utopia and to move forward. So someday there will be world peace. Maybe not in my lifetime, but we can hope. And our job is to work towards it. And so the first card for us to pick right now, as we are being guided with, Pluto and Jupiter and the moon and the eclipse and Mercury retrograde and all the things, is just as a reminder that all of these things are shifting. And it always reminds me of that first time you see Diagon Alley in the Harry Potter movies, right? And Hagrid taps the brick, and all of a sudden the bricks go, and you're looking and you're like, it's all moving, I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're still in the part. Right? All the pieces are moving. So we're not really sure what's going on. So, all right. But we know that something good is on the other side. Right? All right. So this is our other. Okay, seriously, this is the next card I picked. I don't know if you can read it, but it says transformation. I don't know that there's any explanation needed for that card. It says things are changing at a cellular level for deep healing. There you go. I mean, I love the oracle cards are so incredible because they listen. The energies of the oracle cards that inhabit the oracle cards, they literally listen. And so it is definitely not a coincidence that that is what we're talking about. And then we pull the very next card, and that is exactly the one word that it says is transformation. Hello. Thank you. All right, we'll pull one more, and then we'll do a couple of independent readings. So if you would like a card, please feel free. Not yet. And again, if you're a spammer, just going to say it out there, as soon as you start commenting on people, we're going to ban you. So if you're a spammer, just, go. If you're not a spammer, we'd love to have you stay. Okay, so interesting, because this is the third card that I pulled, and I usually pull, like, where are we, where are we going, what do we need to know? So the first card is, where are we? We're creating Lemuria. We're working towards this utopia. Where are we going? We're in this process of transformation. What do we need to know? What we need to know is take a break. And it's so interesting because it aligns so perfectly with the goose card that we pulled before from Stephen Farmer's Animal Spirit deck. Though it aligns perfectly with that, make sure that we're taking a minute, we're taking a pause, and that we are taking time to assess what is going on. So this is take a break. It says, a life's work is not a season, get off the treadmill. And so this is this reminder to, as we're coming into the full moon this week on the 5th, to take stock of where you are and where you want to go and how are you doing. Okay? Are you moving in the right direction or in the direction that's right for you? There's not a right direction. It's the direction that's right for you, or it's the direction that feels right to you at this time. There is no wrong direction. Okay, I want to be clear. There is no wrong direction. You may loop back around for something, and people are like, oh, I took a 10-year detour, I didn't get it. But the person you were at that time may not have been the person who could receive the things you were trying to receive or experience or manifest over here until you had this 10-year journey. So sometimes, we say to ourselves, oh, I took a wrong turn. We didn't take a wrong turn. We moved in a direction to allow ourselves to experience the things that we needed to experience in order for us to become the person that we are now to receive the things that we're going to have right now. We are never taking a wrong turn. But this does remind us to take a break. It does remind us that it's important to reassess. It's important to take stock of the journey. It's important to say, where am I? Am I on the path? Do I feel like I'm moving in the right direction? What is the next best step that I can take to help move me forward on my path for my highest and best good? What do I need to know to help move me forward for my highest and best good? What is one next step? Because you know what? Even the babyest of steps still count. I spoke to my neighbor this morning when I was out on my run, and he's an older gentleman. He's so lovely, and he's, waiting for processes to process at the VA. And I said, well, what happened this week? And he's like, well, I had my primary appointment, and so while I was there, I made sure that she signed this document so that it can get sent on to the next place. And I'm like, all right, well, that sounds like a little thing. He's like, well, yeah, it's a little thing, but at least it's something. And I said, it's even the small baby steps count, because she signed it, got it off of her desk, it's going to go to the next person. Okay, so even the baby steps count. Okay, I forgot to turn off my watch, and everybody is messaging. Okay, so while I was shuffling, the one card hopped out, and we're very respectful of jumper cards. We do not dismiss jumper cards. And so this card was Soul Family. And so this is a reminder that while we are transforming and while we are evolving and moving forward, and we are taking stock, and we're making sure that we take a break so that we can assess, how does it feel, where am I going, what am I doing, to make a better plan to go forward. So we're not just going willy-nilly, right? That we can't just depend on the universe to be the steerer of the ship. We have to steer the ship. So I can put my kayak into the waves and let the waves carry me, but I still better be paddling. I still better be paddling. I still got to be part of the process. You can't just give up and let them do it, and not give up. But we need to be involved. And so this is this reminder that we stay together, right? We lift each other. We support each other. Look how much love and light and all this beautiful sunbeams, light beams that are coming out from them. We stay together, and beautiful whales and dolphins that are jumping around in there. We stay together. We are attracting our soul family. And this is one of the most beautiful things, is as we raise our own vibration, we literally are attracting other people to us who vibrate at the same level. And at the same time, we are moving away from people who have that lower vibration, or who are stuck in this old clinging to it ideology, right? So we're moving away from them, or they are just being naturally removed from us. They may move away, they may quit a job, you may get a different job. They're naturally removed from us, like the leaves falling from the trees, because they're not needed anymore. Right? We don't need that in our lives. So either we're going to move away, or they're going to move away. So this is this reminder that the goose card told us to take a break. And we finished with that same place, that card that says take a break. And we had this reminder that we are working towards a better world. We are literally working towards a better world. We are under construction, all of us. We are part right now of what they're calling the Great Transformation. I love that. What a time to live through, which feels very tumultuous, but to live through the great transformation of humanity's evolution, that's incredible. I mean, wow, we're lucky. And then this reminder to take a break is not just like walk away and go, Netflix and chill, but it's a reminder to take stock. It's a reminder to assess what's going on, especially as we're moving forward towards the full moon and the eclipse on the 5th, while we are in Mercury retrograde, and we have Pluto in retrograde as well. But the last card was the soul family. We're never alone. We're always supported by each other and by our soul family in spirit. So when we come to humanity, we incarnate, not everybody that we ever knew is here on earth. Some of our soul family stays behind to watch out for us. I mean, isn't that comforting? That's amazing to know that some of them are up there. They may incarnate for a while to help us point in the right direction, point in a different direction, or learn some things, and then they're watching out for us. So part of our soul family has stayed behind on purpose to make sure that we're okay. We have guardians up there. I mean, that's incredible. So, this is soul family. You have physical soul family that are incarnated here in humanity, and then you have soul family that are up in the spirit side who are watching out for you as well. I mean, gosh, that gotta make you feel good. That makes me feel very loved. I mean, what kind of love does it take for somebody to choose to say, oh, look, Zoe, you're a spammer. We're going to ban you. Okay, bye. Ban from page. See you, bye. If you're a spammer, just go, because I'm going to ban you. It's like not even a question. So what kind of love does it take for somebody to say, I would really love to come and incarnate with you, but you know what? I'm going to stay here and watch the fort. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to watch the kids. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to make sure you have everything that you need to go down there and be fabulously successful and have a fantastic time. That's an immense amount of love to come from our soul family. And then we come here and we attract the humans that vibrate in that same way, because they have souls that are doing the same thing, right? So anytime that you get a little frustrated or you're feeling a little bit alone, remember that soul family. I mean, what incredible thing to offer, to stay behind and miss out on all this. All right, so are you ready? I see some of you all a little sneaking ahead. Are you ready? We will do some card readings. If you will ask for a card, you have to ask for a card if you want one. We'll do card readings. We'll close it up. So, hello, Miss Bianca. Uh-oh. All right, I see this loose. It's Pablo. Hello, it's Pablo. If you're a spammer, don't even put the comment. Just go now, because, yep, there you are. We're going to ban you. See you, bye. Ban from page. They all do the same thing. I just don't get it. They all, like, they go in and they tag your posts, like they, you know, and you can see the name, that it's not like a name. It's not like Noreen's name. And, you know, it's like Super Tarot Reader 26. And they all do the same thing. So it's like, I mean, we can see you coming. If you're spammers, just go. And if you're new, because it looks like there's some names that I don't recognize. So if you're new, welcome. And if you end up to watch the replay, please don't be distressed. We do turn off the comments. We do turn off the comments at the end so that you all do not get peppered with this kind of stuff. So, all right. So we are going to start with Jem, and then we're going to do Bianca and Michelle, and then we have Noreen and Christina, Karen. Okay, I see Karen and Christina. All right, so we're going to start with Jem. So Jem, so remember, if you're new, oh gosh, I'm sorry, my phone just keeps falling off my computer for Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. I cleaned my computer screen today, and now my suction cup doesn't have any dust to hang on to. If you are new, even if you're not, hold on to a question that you would like me to answer when I come to you. Okay, you don't have to tell me the question, but just hold that so that the cards know. Okay, so Jem, this is Warrior Woman. This card says Warrior Woman. Now these cards are not numbered, so just so you know, it says, have you answered your deepest calling? Jem, this is Warrior Woman, and she's a badass. And this is just reminding you that this is a time for you to take that assessment, to say, where do I want to go? Where am I trying to go? And it feels like maybe you have been a little unclear, or you've been ignoring the, the niggle of where you're meant to go, or where you really, in your heart of hearts, that you wanted to go. And so this is a reminder for you to, hi Zoe, glad you're not a spammer. Welcome, welcome. So Jem, this is a reminder for you to really check in to your heart's desire and to say, what is it that that I want to do? What is it that I want to connect with? And to allow them to take you there, to allow yourself to feel into those really deep-seated that deep part of your heart that you want to create, because you are a badass warrior woman. And they show you this card to remind you that you're capable of manifesting the things that you truly want. You don't have to wait for someone else's permission. So go get it. Go get it. And this is perfect timing, because this is really, like you saw with the cards, this is a time that says take a break, take assessment. This is a time for us to really take a look at what's going on. So follow the heart, because they're telling you this is the time for you to be a warrior woman and to go forward. To be able to manifest the thing that you want. So, okay, all right. Let's see. We have got, where was that? Was Jem? Oh, I lost. Okay, Karen. All right. So we're gonna do. Oh no, yeah, we're gonna do Karen. Okay, Karen. Kovidi. I apologize if I've said that wrong. But we're gonna do Karen. And then we'll do Bianca. I think I got a little out of order there just from the comments. Gina, I see you. All right, so Karen, this is Align Your Life. So there's things that you're doing that feel like you're doing for others because there's expectation, or there's things that are for you to, that you were trying to do what is expected for you, and that, or what other people think you ought to be doing, instead of doing what it is that you are really wanting for yourself. And so this is reminding you to stick to your guns and to stay in your own lane, and to look at the things that you would really again, that you want to manifest for yourself, and that it isn't about trying to be a people pleaser. This is about being a you pleaser, about being for you. So so you go forward, go forth, and be you. Just be your best you. This is what they're talking about, is those things that you're doing that are feeling out of alignment because you're doing for others instead of doing what's right for you or your family. Just let all that stuff go. This is a time for that self-assessment, right? Okay. Bianca. Okay. Zoe, sorry if I banned you by mistake. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, I do apologize. If you want to put comment, reply to one of your comments on what your name of your account was, I can definitely go and check that out, and after we're done we can ban you if need be. But I'm glad you had another account. You can come and hang out with us. So my apologies if I have banned in error. We have a real specific pattern to the spammers, and so I try to be very quick on the draw so they don't get to be able to access you all, because we don't want them harassing you. I don't want anybody taking advantage of the fact that you are here for you, and I don't want anybody taking advantage of that. So we're going to go to Miss Bianca. Bianca, this is the Akasha. So Bianca, the Akashic Records is, the Akashic Records are the records of everything that ever was or is, that is in our lives now or at any other point along the way. And so it's like the Library of Congress for our life and for our soul and all the lives that we have lived. And so what they're talking about is for you to really tap into the lessons that came before, the lessons of your previous lifetimes, the lessons of your previous experiences, and allow all of that wisdom to coalesce and to bring you strength and courage and to guide you as you are going forward. So this is really asking you to take some time to think and feel about who you were and who you want to be, because you have all of the tools and all of the abilities in you to be who you want to be, because you have already lived it. And so this is this reminder to tap into the things that have already given you the strength and the experiences to be able to go forward in a magnificent way. And if you want more information about the Akashic Records, just send me a message and I'm happy to talk to you about it. All right, so oh my goodness, I'm gonna Zoe, I see your comment. It was automatically hidden, so I'm gonna unhide it. Another psychic was rude to you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry somebody was rude to you. Yeah, we just don't have to be rude to people. I mean, I know sometimes it's hard. All right, so Michelle. All right, so we did. All right, so we did Noreen, did we do your card yet? We're gonna do Michelle Krantz. Karen, I know we did. All right, so we're going to do Michelle, and then Noreen, let me know, and we'll do Christina. So Michelle Krantz. So this is Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? And so this is a perfect time, right? Because we're in the retrograde. We're coming up to this time of the self-assessment. We've been talking about it all afternoon. So Michelle Krantz, what is it that your soul really, really wants? And we're seeing that as a theme right now, right? Which is not terribly surprising, because we have the, this is what happens in retrograde. All this stuff starts coming up, right? And so, Michelle, really, as you're sitting in that, oh, see, there's Christ Tarot, banned from page. Goodbye. We don't do spells. We don't do spammers. Okay, we'll get you, Maureen. No worries. So, Michelle, this is about tapping into the stuff that's really truest in your heart, and knowing that it's okay for you to ask for the things that you want, right? So many times, especially with women, we get in these places where like we just we swallow our words and we don't ask for the things we want. This is a reminder that says your heart is telling you things. There's that thumping inside of you that's saying, this is what I want. This is, oh, if only, I really wish, and someday maybe, blah, blah, blah. And the cards are saying, right now. I was bopping you on the head, metaphorically. So, so if there's stuff that you've been thinking about, I will tell you, just because, you know, sisters got to stick together, I'm getting the same message. So please don't have fear about it, because again, come back to that one same question. What is one thing I can do right now that's going to help me move forward in that direction, in the direction that I want to go in? So, ask yourself that one question is like, what is it that I can do to help myself move forward, to help move me forward for my highest and best good? So it doesn't have to be a leap, okay? It doesn't have to be like, just allow yourself to start moving in the direction, right? Because we just take one step, and then we take another step, and then we take another step. But we got to start with one, right? So that's where we start. Okay, so Noreen said we did not do her card, so we're going to do her card right now. And, okay, so let me scroll back up. I always scroll down to look and see. You are welcome, Jem. Okay. So, Noreen. Okay, so Noreen, your card is Sisterhood of the Rose, and it says beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So, Noreen, what is it that you're supposed to be sharing with those around you that maybe you also have been swallowing words and that you haven't been sharing with other people, or that you've been maybe afraid to share your true thoughts about things? You have been afraid to share, or reluctant is a better word, to share your wisdom with folks. And this is reminding you that you are connected with a soul sisterhood, but it is about sharing your wisdom with people. You don't have to be old to have wisdom. Just sharing your wisdom and sharing your opinions. Your thoughts matter. Your opinions are valid. And that you have so much to share that is able to help bless others if you will allow the fear part of it, like, oh, I don't know what they're going to think of me, to come out of the way. And so this is the Sisterhood of the Rose. And the rose is this ever unfolding flower that has the wisdom, and we unfold the flower one petal at a time with a rose. And so the rose is such a symbol of wisdom and strength and love and solidarity, that all the petals are interlaced together. So we stand together. So there are people around you, Noreen, who really want to hear what you have to say. So share from the heart. Share from the heart. All right, so Christina, and all right, let me just scoot back down here, make sure we're good. Oh, see, Eva B. Reader, you're banned. Okay, goodbye. Banned. Oh, see, they got in there quick, and I wasn't spam alert. Thanks, Zach. All right, so we go back up to shoot. Okay, so here's what happens. And this is another reason why I'm so big about the spammers. I think that was Noreen that we were just doing. So what happens is they put all these comments in, and it pushes up the comments from the window on Facebook of what I can see. So there were comments that now I cannot see because they got pushed up. So I think we just finished Noreen. I don't know who was after Noreen. So if I missed you, please forgive me. Put in another comment. I'll make sure we get to you. So here I am on the comments. Is what I'm seeing is Zoe Louise, Jem, you are welcome, and Valencia Stagg. So we're going to pick up with Valencia and Chaya, who also goes by Zach. Oh, and then, okay, so delete these. Okay, so we delete these. Okay, so, okay, boy, the Eva person got a lot of comments in before I was able to. Okay, so where I am is Zoe, okay, and then Valencia, okay. And again, if I have skipped you, it is unintentional. When the spammers come in, they make these big block comments, and it pushes things up where I just can't see them. So we're going to do Valencia. So Valencia, this is trust the niggle. So boy, we're getting the same message, right? Follow what's heart, what's coming up for you, which is what happens when we're in the coming into the full moon time, right? And Mercury retrograde is all about bringing stuff up to the surface. So Valencia, this is trust the niggle. And this is just this reminder that if you've been hearing it's rattling around in your brain, it's in your heart, you get a little flutter in your stomach, this is the time to get in the game. And Pluto, we talked about this before, because Pluto comes in, and this is one of the things that we have with Pluto is so much about let's go, get in the game. So we're having this right now of with this. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry because I'm losing your comments, and I'm sorry. But this is Valencia. This is about trusting what Spirit is trying to show you, because between Mercury retrograde, the full moon, and Pluto being in retrograde, this is so much about answering the soul's highest calling. So you're on the right track. Just let it out. follow it. Just follow it, okay? Again, you don't have to do a sprint. You don't have to be like over the, you know, hills and through the woods or whatever, but just follow where you're being led. Follow what is bubbling up inside of you because it's important. Okay. All right. So I know I have skipped people, and I'm so sorry about that. Hello, Nia. Okay, Noreen, I think we got your card. Zoe, she says she doesn't see us getting back together, even though multiple other psychics said that you would get back together with your partner. So Zoe, here's what I can say about getting back together with a partner is sometimes we are so intent on manifesting a reunification that we miss out on the reason that either we separated or what the universe was trying to do in moving us apart, to be able to say, hey, theirs is not the right thing, but we have something better for you. Sometimes we are willing to hold on so tightly to good that we miss out on great. So I can't see if there's a reunification for you, but other thing I will tell you is be very careful about psychic shopping, because we don't want to get into a place where we are shopping around from, you know, psychic to psychic because we want to get the answer that we want. That's not always the great you know, the greatest energy, because now we're moving from a place of desperation rather than from a place of allowing. And I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just responding to the words that were used in your comments. So I just want to give you that piece of information. Sometimes we're so intent on holding on to good, we miss that the universe is trying to give us great. And so while I'm doing that, I'm shuffling cards for you. And so this is the card that has come up for you. It is the card that says no. So, I mean, I can't make it up, so I would never try to hide it from you. So that I'm going to leave that with you, and if there's other questions, I'm certainly happy to pull another card for you. All right, so we're going to get a card for Haya, my friend who also goes by Zach, to finish writing the autobiography. Yes, absolutely. Priestess. So allow for higher guidance to guide you along the way. Okay, there is the ability, because I know you and because I know all the things that you have been through, there is the possibility of letting ego lead the way on your autobiography, and I want to really encourage you to let your heart lead the way and to let higher guidance to lead the way, so that you're sharing the things that maybe, because I feel like when we first write things, we put in all this stuff, and that's what we should do when we're writing. We put everything in it, like the kitchen sink, and then we want to weed out so that we can tighten up the story, so that we're sharing the parts that are really important, because sometimes those little offshoots of things that was like, well, let me tell that story about that person and that person, maybe is not important to staying in your lane of telling your story. Your story is amazing and you have so much to share, but so they're just talking here about letting your priestess, your higher guidance, guide you as you're moving forward on this path. Okay, there's so much for you to share. I think you could probably write 3 books, but what they're talking about is keep this one tight and streamlined. So rather than having it be more of a tell-all, or you know, I'm going to get my moment to say my piece, that this book is not about that, but this book is about your great journey, and that's an important message just in by itself. So hopefully that is helpful. All right, so I have no idea where we are. So Nia, okay, Valencia, I think we did, and Tracy. Let me just make sure we're not having more spammers coming in. Okay, so Zoe, Christina is after me. Okay, thank you. Christina is after Zoe. Everybody is in agreement. Christina. All right, so so what I have in my comments right now is Nia, Tracy, Christina. Valencia, we did. So Nia, we're going to start with Nia, Tracy, Christina. Christina, hang in there with me. And Gina, I see you. I see you. Gina's over on Instagram going, I'm still here. All right, so Nia, this card for you is take a break. Now, we saw this card earlier, but Nia, it feels like with you, there's been a lot of things like moving around you, and maybe feels it also feels like there may be some things that have been feeling like you're a little boxed in. So it's okay to take a breath and step back and reassess. It's okay to take a minute to say, okay, let me just go for a walk, let me get some clarity, let me clear my head, and let me look at the situation from a different perspective. Okay, so this is the thing I'm getting for you, Nia, is about looking at the things from a different perspective. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to Tracy. Yeah, I also want to say that there's a lot of support around you. That it feels like you're not sure where to reach out for support, and to be able to just trust that when you reach out your hand, the right person, the right support is going to be there for you. Okay, Tracy, and then Christina. All right, Tracy. This is mirror. So what is triggering you right now is what it says. So this is mirror. So the things that come in that trigger us, that set us off, that make us super angry and frustrated, and all of those things. These things they're trying to show us the things that really just drive us bananas in the person across from us are being a mirror back to us. They're trying to show us the things in ourselves that we've been unwilling to see, which is another part of Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Instagram. My phone keeps falling off my computer. I'm not sure why. So it's reminding us of the things that we've been unwilling to see. So we see these things in that trigger, the things that set us off, and we're like, oh, what is that? That person drives me bananas. Is what they're talking about, Tracy, is that it's important for you to take a minute to look at that and say, well, what is that about me that is reacting this way? What is it about me that they're trying to get me to redirect a little bit? Okay, so they're really trying to get your attention there. All right, so that is Tracy. All right, so we're going to do Christina's. And Christina. So this is Align Your Life. We saw this card a little earlier too. So this is a reminder that you're the driver of the ship. So Christina, this is a reminder that it's time to stop people pleasing. It's time to that it's okay to put your own needs first, to allow yourself to be in there and to be able to have this what I want is okay. What I want is valid. I'm not selfish, or I'm not letting someone else down because there's things that I want or I need to be happy and feel fulfilled in the world, and to be able to pursue my passions and to be able to move forward in that way. So Christina, this is this reminder that to take a step back, especially we've been seeing that card a lot, especially with retrograde and the full moon. This is this time to take a step back and say, okay, where am I? Where am I going? What do I want? What is the highest priority for me? Let me let go of some of this other stuff. And I may need to go to the side for a little while I'm moving myself forward, because this is the way that my heart wants to go. And so Christina, this is just a reminder for you to take a minute and to say, okay, where do I really want to go? What am I really trying to create or accomplish? So that you are allowing yourself to be in alignment with that, so that you move forward in that direction. The universe says, oh, this is where we're going. Great, we're going to move in and help bring those pieces together to help you. Okay? All right, so let's see. Zoe, you are welcome. Hi, you are welcome. Tracy, you are welcome. And Caroline, I think you're a spammer. So if I am wrong, I apologize, but it looks like a French spammer. So that's something new. All right, so I think, did we miss anybody? We missed Gina. We missed Gina on Instagram, the most patient person on Instagram. All right, so the future is fluid. Yes, Zoe, the future is fluid. Even though the answer may be no for now, it could possibly change. So here's the thing. Humans have free will. So I could tell you that an opportunity would present itself for the two of you to be in the same place at the same time. That doesn't mean you have a guarantee. There isn't a guarantee, because you have free will and so does your ex-partner. Okay, but again, keeping in mind that, oh, look, Inks, King, Man's Kid, something banned from page. Spammers, we don't have any tolerance for spammers. If you're a spammer, just go. So, hi, Misty. So, Zoe, even though you could be in the same place at the same time, remember that not to sacrifice good for great, okay? If you are shopping around for a psychic that's going to tell you that what you want to hear, you're not allowing the universe to move the cogs to create something better or to heal what needs to be healed in order for the two of you to come back together again. So, yes, the universe is fluid. Yes, the future is not written at all, and people have free will. So just because it says no for now does not mean it's no forever. But I would caution against holding on to it, because you may miss something else that was meant for you that could be more important. Okay, so, oh, Christina, I'm sending you many hugs, and I'm so happy to be of service, and I'm sending you many hugs. So Gina on Instagram, it says the initiation. It says the rite of passage and crossing the threshold. So I'm glad, Zoe. That's lots of love to you as well. So Gina, this is stepping into a new space. This is stepping into a new light. This is stepping into a new opportunity, and this is allowing it. This is allowing it. This is telling you that stepping into new spaces, that stepping into a new project, a new opportunity, stepping into a new relationship or a new space, that this is, it might not feel like all butterfly wings. There might be some, rough gravel you've got to go over, but that this is, you're on the path. So this is telling you that you're absolutely on the path, Gina. You are on the right path. And again, there's no wrong path, but you're on the path. So, yay. Always love those. So, all right. So, do watch the page to see if we're going to have a time for meditation on Thursday evening. It's a little bit up in the air right now, but we will be back together for next Monday for sure. And just remember that this Friday, or the 5th, I think it's Friday, is Cinco de Mayo. Is also the full moon. It's a lunar eclipse. And it is also, so it means that everything is going to feel a little bit more heightened, a little more electrified. So if you are going out to party for Cinco de Mayo, just have somebody who's got your back. Make sure that you are staying safe, because those eclipses can, just like turning that volume all the way up. Our senses are heightened. The things that Mercury retrograde is trying to bring up and Pluto retrograde is trying to bring up for us may come to the surface with more aplomb, more of a bang, because they're going to be amplified by the eclipse. So just stay safe. Try and keep your feet on the ground. Try and keep grounded. And remember, the best thing about working with the retrogrades is to just turn into it and let it carry you, right? Just let it carry you, knowing that while we might not like everything that's coming up, the things that are coming up from Mercury retrograde and Pluto retrograde are really designed to help us. All of us is there to help us. And if you're watching the replay, I'm sorry that we missed you live, but do keep in mind that we will close off the comments at the end of the recording so that the spammers are not bombarding everybody who comes along afterwards. So enjoy. Stay safe, and always remember how very much you are loved. Mwah.